Hello and welcome to the Next Wave of Digital Video. I'm your host, Tony Reale, and can you believe that as of August 2017, it's actually been 10 years since I uploaded our first YouTube training video. August 2007, I uploaded how to build a camera jib crane, and it's been an incredibly wild ride since then. So in these 10 years, so much has happened, both in my life and our YouTube channel and in the lives of those that I've worked with, that I thought it'd be fun to go back and reflect a little bit about that and take you through the journey that I went through from going from an extreme hobbyist, possibly the lowest end that you could be in video, to owning my own production company and getting to the point where we are today with owning a great deal of camera equipment, working on some amazing projects, and really turning it into a career. Now, way back when I uploaded our first video, the YouTube channel, I didn't even have the name NextWaveDV. I call it NextWaveG, and that's because I had a graphic design company at the time called NextWave Graphics. My background, again, being in graphic design, I started way back on like the Apple II, playing around with Print Shop Deluxe and Koala Pad and just playing around with graphic design, and I really fell in love with drawing and creative arts in that form. I ended up just accidentally falling into love with video just by working on a college project with a couple photos and putting those together into a fun little cinematic trailer. And I was like, if I can do this with photos, I wonder what I could do with actual video. So I went on eBay, and I didn't want to spend a ton of money on video because I didn't know what I was going to do with it, and I know video cameras can be very expensive. So I decided, all right, I'm just going to go the cheapest that I could possibly go. So I went on eBay, and I bought a camera for $27. It had a broken LCD screen, so I had to use the viewfinder to shoot everything. And I went out and shot some, by today's standards, absolutely horrible, cruddy, but fun projects. And it again introduced me to the art of video. It introduced me to the mechanics of it, the storytelling elements, and again, things that I was just slowly falling in love with. But the thing that drew me crazy was when I looked at the video, I was like, why does this look like a home video? And why does Hollywood movies and TV shows, why do they look so much better? And I obsessed about it. And I poured over forums and anything that I could learn from. YouTube was still in its infancy at the time, so there wasn't a lot of stuff for me to find. I just would kind of piece information together. I didn't know if this is something I wanted to go to college for or what I was wanting to do with it, but it was just a really big hobby at the time. It was just a pastime that I got obsessed with. So I learned stuff and I slowly regurgitated them into short little videos. I'd learn about depth of field adapters and I'd make a video about that. I would learn about DSLRs and I'd make a video about that. And so I would take these little videos, and that was the birth of NextWaveDV. I just started, I want to come up with a better name than NextWaveG, so I turned it into NextWaveDV. Being the next wave of digital video is the goal of that name. And as I learned stuff, I would just turn it, because I was learning everything through the internet, and that became the place that I want to give back to, the place that I was learning so much from, because there's so many other people doing the same thing. So that $27 camera on eBay was a great place to start. But then as I learned, I realized the importance of high definition. And so then I upgraded to a Sony Handycam. And then I learned about depth of field adapters. So I added that to my equation. Then I upgraded to a camera that had XLR inputs. And then I moved to DSLRs back in the day of the 5D Mark II when DSLRs were just starting off. And during this time, I was working with my buddy Sean, who many of you guys know from the channel. Sean had an idea for a Doritos commercial that we decided to try out. It was the first shoot I had with my 5D Mark II. We went ahead and shot it and had a lot of fun with it. I ended up showing it to Jimmy, who again you guys may know as my third business partner. He was just somebody that I knew from the church, and I showed it to him, and he and I started experimenting with some ideas that he had for jewelry ads. It was great. It was an outlet. It was a chance for me to try new things out. Again, I wasn't planning on turning this into a company at all. It was just something that I was having fun with and learning from. But there gets to be a day where you start spending, hundreds and thousands of dollars on equipment. I needed to have a justification of this. I needed to have a company that I could maybe earn some money and also write off some of this stuff on. So that's when I started Creative Edge Productions. I had actually been working with a church at the time and just volunteering there, and which ended up turning into a job. And I really enjoyed all the projects that we were working on. but I still wanted to have full creative control over some projects. So with Creative Edge Productions having an entity, I could do some projects, work with other clients, and my employer at the church was very nice about allowing me to have that flexibility in my job and do those things. So I went off and did these side projects. Again, nothing really fancy at the time, but it was income. It was something better than just doing it as a hobby. Well, I continued to release videos on NextWaveDV. We ended up having our first child. My wife left her job so that she could stay home with the kids, and NextWaveDV became another income outlet. Between that, the church, and Creative Edge, I was kind of able to compensate for her income drop off. Well, in the meantime, the economy took a pretty big nosedive, and my position, along with several others, got eliminated at the place I was at. And I had to decide, make a decision. Is this the point where I find another job, or try and make one of all these irons in the fires that I was doing take off? Well, luck would have it that Creative Edge started actually getting some traction. We went from getting a job call once every other month to getting one small projects once a week. And again, consistency was important at that time. So even though they were small gigs, hey, it was income, it was something. And so we focused our energy on that, started slowly growing the brand of Creative Edge Productions. And when I realized that NextWaveDV, through our YouTube channel, had been driving a lot of traffic to Creative Edge and allowing it to rank higher in Google, we were getting organic traffic to our website, stuff that people normally have to pay Google ads for, we were getting naturally. This allowed us to, again, rise the ranks and be able to be found by people, which is one of the most important things. When you're starting a company, people need to be able to find you. And so whether that's you doing direct advertising, whether you're making phone calls or reaching out, whatever it may be, for us, because of the traffic of NextWaveDV, we were able to organically rank high enough, and we were having people find us. So it was at this time that we decided we needed to have a better creative space. We needed to be out of my basement, and we needed to be able to do something at a better level. So we decided to find a space that we could move into and call our studio. Well, we found a place in Green Bay, and we moved into there. And again, we were kind of living paycheck by paycheck. We didn't know when the next month's rent was going to come, let alone paying our own mortgages and supporting our families. But fortunately, business did slowly start to pick up, and we went from doing projects for several $100s to a few $1,000s. And we kept growing our portfolio, getting a chance to work with higher end clients, really giving them the best bang for the buck, really investing in there and growing our portfolio at the same time. So then we went from projects that were averaging a few $1,000s to averaging several $1,000s, to then averaging $10,000 and $20,000 and moving right on up the line and doing the projects that we really wanted to do. Well, at this time, as projects grew, I was able to invest in camera equipment, and I went from a 5D Mark II to the FS700, and then I slowly growing from that to adding better equipment, getting lots of sliders and better lights and jibs and all the things that you would need to kind of cover the bases of everything. And I was able to do that just by taking the income that I was making, taking a chunk of it and reinvesting into the equipment. Doing it very slowly over the course of this time. We improved our studio, we expanded our studio into an additional suite, and we were able to just consistently grow. I can really attest to the fact that the focus on our portfolio and the projects that we've had has been the main thing that's allowed us to grow as a company. Most recently, when Red announced their new Epic W, that seemed to me the right time to jump onto the Red bandwagon. Having the helium sensor, having the 8K option, it just seemed to be the right fit for our needs. We are wanting to grow, continue to grow to meet the needs of our clients, and also to expand into future clients. I mean, when I bought the FS700, I didn't have clients that were asking for it. But after that, several years later, I was working with clients that probably wouldn't have been satisfied with just doing stuff with my 5D Mark II. They were wanting higher quality ProRes and 4K options. And now with the Red camera, I have a couple of clients that are happy that I have it, but not too many that are demanding it. That said, I'm hoping that we continue to grow as a company and that we will be able to expand into clients that would expect a camera of that caliber. So it's been a slow process. It's been a fun process. I really do enjoy this industry. I enjoy being able to focus my energy on lighting, on lensing, on directing the image and the tone and the mood to be had. And then working with my business partners like Jimmy, who's a great storyteller, who's great at working with the business to uncover their message and figuring out exactly what makes them unique, and then turning that into a story that the average consumer or business would be interested in. And of course, Sean is an amazing editor and animator. He's just a great member of the team as well. So being able to cover all the bases with the three-way partnership. And then for us, we have a whole lineup of subcontractors that we work with on a somewhat regular basis, depending on the needs of our productions. We're very scalable. So I hope that's an encouragement for you guys that, you might look at these high-end production companies, not say that we're the top end, but you might look at these guys and say, how could I ever get there? Well, I did the most basic journey. I went from a $27 broken camera on eBay to now investing in hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars of equipment, and all of it through the slow process of growing our company, growing our brand, growing our portfolio, and getting to a place where we're doing what we love. It was a drive to get there. It was a drive to be getting to the place where we have the tools, the portfolio, everything that we want, the experience to deliver a certain caliber of projects for our clients, and we love what we're doing. Well, I hope you enjoyed that reflection of the past 10 years for me, for NextWaveDV, for Creative Edge. And I look forward to sitting down here and again in 10 years and doing another reflection and taking you guys through that next journey. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.